just talk about funding of schools, because I want to talk about the inequality of schools. Like, people don't, if you don't travel around, if you don't visit schools, if you don't read, if you're not paying attention, then you really probably are not going to have a sense of just how incredibly unequal schools are.
Exactly.
Schools disproportionately rely on local property taxes. And the reason for that is because, people decide, like, hey, school's really important. And I want to make sure that my kids or people in my community, my neighbors, my kids, my families, I want them to go to the best possible schools. And so people want to be able to fund those as close to home as possible, which makes a lot of sense.
Right.
But what that means is that the poorest communities have the least amount of money to fund the schools. And the wealthiest communities have more money, right? And this seems to me the foundation of the deep inequality that exists out there with schools.
Yeah, most definitely.
So what do you see? So can we get somebody who would volunteer who went to a really, really wealthy school? So what's your name? Where'd you go to school? Yeah.
My name's Mariana, and I went to school in Miami. It's a school called Mast, and it's like in one of the wealthier parts of Miami. It's like in a little island.
It's a public school.
Yeah.
We're going to compare your school to his school growing up and where he taught in TFA.
Hey, first of all, it's nice to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you.
You nervous speaking in front of the class?
Not really.
Okay, so I think a question that comes to my mind, first things first, did you have an auditorium in your school?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
Did you have a gym in your school?
We did, yeah.
Wait, what did it look like?
Yeah, tell us a little bit, like describe how it looked like.
Our gym was an outdoor gym, so it wasn't, but we had a pool.
You had a pool too?
We had a pool, yeah, and it's like, our school was like on the bay, so we also had like the ocean. So
Oh, snap.
we had like an outdoor basketball court, an outdoor pool, and then like a track that was on the ocean.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah.
So you had a school with an outdoor track on the ocean, okay. So here's another good question, right? Hold on, let's bring it back. Did the classrooms in your school have windows?
Yeah, every classroom had a window.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause right here. I asked simple things. I asked about an auditorium, I asked about a gym, I asked about a window. So I taught in a school in the heart of North Philly, and let me tell you something. There was no auditorium, there was no gym. But we had gym class. Guess where we had gym class at, though? Someone said the classrooms. Anyone else want to guess? A public park. Anyone else want to guess? A parking lot. Dang, man. Say again? The lunchroom. Golden answer. We had sweaty 15-year-olds in a cafeteria, and the next period was lunch. Ooh. Okay, how about this? Did you... No, so, and then when it came to windows, so we had 5 classrooms. So the school I taught at, we had 5 classrooms that had windows. So, windows, they're pretty cool because there's fresh air, and then there's, like, you're laughing, right? There's fresh air, and then there's also this thing called sunlight. I thought ain't the sun good for you and stuff? Vitamin D and stuff, yeah? You're nodding your head, right? But we didn't have that, So those are just 3 questions. I want to keep going a little bit. How did you and your friends get to school in the morning?
We drove, or like our parents drove us mostly. We did have a bus, like there were bus systems, but
bus systems. Okay, you drove. Okay, kids, we took the bus, walked.
Yeah.
A lot of people
really
drive to school here. Y'all used to drive to school in a McLaren. That's y'all, right? And your mom and dad's Lexus, right? That's y'all, all right? Oh, we had good old SEPTA, man. We was out there 15 minutes before, 10 minutes after, because the bus could come in any point in that window, right?
Wait, so what kind of cars were students driving? Did students get to drive to school themselves?
Yeah, like
what kind of
when
cars
we got
were they
older.
driving?
They drove like Jeeps or like a lot of people drove like BMWs.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like it was like cars like that. There was like I drove a Volkswagen, and like yeah.
Wait, so this is a public school.
Yeah.
How are your chemistry labs?
Yeah.
Or what?
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had chemistry labs? What were they like? Tell me about it.
Well, it was in the classroom, but there was one time we did an experiment with like fire, and like different colors came out of it. So it was like we had pretty big, like our school is a very science-oriented school, so they put a lot of focus on those labs.
You have microscopes and
Yeah, we've got microscopes, like test tubes.
Oh, wow.
Everything. Yeah.
How about you, man? Do
Yeah.
you guys have chemistry labs?
Oh man, no, man. So when I was teaching chemistry, man, we had to use we used YouTube, right, for like the Bunsen burners and like one time we got brave. We were able to like one of my co-teachers. She drove like 30 minutes out the way to get dry ice just to bring it back. And we went to Rite Aid to get some stuff. Gotta love Rite Aid, man, right? Holding it down since 1999, right? No, I'm just playing. Okay. Oh, here's a good one. A parking lot. Y'all had a parking lot.
Yeah.
All right, that's really cool.
Yeah, there's like two sides of it. There was one side that was outdoors, and then the inside one was like under the bus lane.
Okay, how about this? Hold on, let's bring it back, man, because I'm hearing a lot of excited chatter. Y'all talking about y'all schools here. Some people can relate. Some people are like, geez, BMW, man, I thought I was going to get that when I was 50. You got 16-year-olds driving that. How about this? What was your school lunch like? What did y'all eat every day? Oh, I heard some hissing and stuff, man.
I mean, no, for the most part, people brought lunch from home because the lunch food wasn't like appetizing.
Oh, okay.
But they had a lot of like patties, or like sometimes they had mozzarella sticks, and those were like big days, or like pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah.
What did your pizza look like? Was it like Papa John's, right?
No.
DiGiorno, was it kind of like that, or was it kind of like the square cardboardish?
Yeah, like the square one.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
so at least we had that in common, right?
Yeah.
Was anybody on a free lunch program?
Yeah, there were some people.
Free lunch.
Yeah.
Cool.
But like I knew some people that would do it, and like they wouldn't need it. Like I know like people in my grade would have free lunch, but then they would drive like Mercedes to school. So they would like abuse the program.
All
Okay,
right.
so so you had a swimming pool?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Hold on, I want y'all to really hear this. Hold on. Let's bring the chatter back, right? For some of our excited folks, man, we might invite y'all down, man. I'm loving the chatter. Sports, by a show of hands, who played sports after school? All right. Ooh. Oh, we got some athletes here. Basketball, football, volleyball. Y'all can just yell it out. Football. All right, hold on. Let's try to yell it out one at a time, right? Over here, what do we get? Oh, we had fencing over here. Fencing?
Football.
Football, what position you played?
Linebacker.
Linebacker. Horseback riding. Y'all had horses at your school?
Damn, dude.
Man, the only time I ever saw a horse, I think was at a zoo.
Nah.
We had someone at a...
Nah, it was the police, man.
Oh, yeah, the police in the Philly Park. We had someone all the way back there. What was some sports back there? Volleyball, tennis. Anyone on a swim team? Oh, snap. Okay.
So how was it at your school, man? Will.
I want her to answer it because I told her to pause.
All right.
About the after-school program, what is like? A lot of kids play sports. What sports did you have?
There were a lot of like water sports. Like we didn't have a football team. We did have a football field, but we didn't have a team. But we had a lot of people that were on the swim team or the water polo team.
Yeah.
We had soccer. What else? We had like track and fields, cross country.
That's good. So
Yeah, volleyball, basketball.
man, that's dope.
Yeah.
So my folks that are from right outside Philly, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about something right here, my man right here. I'll tell you something about in Philly. So in Philly, good thing about Philly is that some schools had like equipment like basketball courts and football fields and tracks, but for schools that didn't have it, one thing that they would do, students would have to hop on a bus after school, maybe go 15, 30 minutes out the way to a different school if they wanted to play sports. Did y'all think sports are important for y'all development as a person? Would you say yes? Raise show of hands. Now imagine how much harder it would be. Y'all have to do homework, maybe have to work after school. But if you want to play sports, you got to like hop on a bus 30 minutes out the way to go to a different school. You got to be really dedicated to do that. But some people, have the fortune. Not anything wrong with that, right? We want every school to have kids that they can play sports right after school and not have to hop on a bus and drive across town to play sports. Right? Yeah. One more question that I had, right, was because y'all know the SAT. Does your school have like a SAT prep program, or how do kids prepare for the SAT?
We had tutorings, but most people it wasn't like affiliated by the school. You just go to the National Honor Society tutoring, and they would help you with like SAT, or you can do like your own like separate program, like with another private school. Like it was like a private school that was like pretty nearby.
Yeah.
They had a program, and like they helped a lot of people from my school.
Okay. Anyone else pay for like SAT prep or have their parents pay for SAT prep? Show of hands. All right. How much did that cost? Y'all can just yell it out. For like an hour. $2.50 an hour.
There you go.
About how many hours did you have to? Hold on. Because the SAT one, that gets me fired up. How many hours did you take to?
A good amount. I mean, I would probably go like 1 to 3 times a week.
When I was going to school, the average SAT score at my school was about 1,100 out of 2,400. And the thing is, I was an A student. I was like, man, I want to do well on the SAT. But I didn't have $200 an hour. But luckily, we had a local church, and there was someone that was a volunteer 1 hour on a Saturday. Aren't kids supposed to be watching movies or going to the mall on Saturday? Man, I had to study for the SAT. Still didn't do that well, right? But an hour every week was what I could get from a free prep program that volunteers did on their own free time. And that's because the area I grew up in, it was low income, but it wasn't the lowest of income. Right?